San Francisco.
Alright, you guys, this is episode 23 of Inner Demons. Hat trick, you guys got 2 war stories and an inner demon tonight, man. So I'm bringing the heat, man. I'm bringing the fire. So check this out, man. The last Inner Demons, I just dropped it. What was it? Yesterday, day after yesterday, day before yesterday. So I still kind of remember a lot of the things that I talked about. One of the last things that I talked about in Susanville was getting off with that Asian cat inside the cell and then stabbing Joey Fernandez. Now, I briefly touched on this a little bit in episode 22. Federico Arevalo and Gibby would both end up paroling from Susanville. And then obviously the double murder would happen in Susanville. And I would never see Federico again. And then I would end up hearing about Gibby and the path that he would end up taking. So, you know, that it's just a trip how, you know, you run into people and how history ends up playing out, and just it all ties in together. Also, you guys probably remember that individual named Chongo that was mentioned on one of the other channels. He claimed to be an NF member. I didn't know him as that. It's possible. I always knew him to be a hermano. He's the one that ended up getting hit, and he did an interview on one of the other channels. But he would also end up coming through there. I forget his first name, but they called him Chongo, and his last name was Zavala from San Jose. He had playing for keeps on his forehead. Anyway, let's get straight to it, man. So, after the issue with the Asian cat, there was like, man, before all that, Susanville was popping, man. We had the incident in the chow hall. I had all them physical altercations. I got into it. You had the issues with Fresno. Shout out to the Fresno homies. And then you had the merging of the 2 yards, and just all these stabbings and all these different. It was a good little run, man. But unfortunately, everything would start to slow down from that point on. Nothing really happened. They weren't feeding us no more. There was no more victims to prey on, other than getting into having a cell extraction, getting fucking shot by 2 tasers at the same time. Nothing else would happen there in Susanville. It was just idle time after that for a while. In fact, so much idle time would end up passing. 6 months would end up passing, and I would end up getting a shitload of time back from things like physical altercations to drinking Pruno to just all kind of shit. Out of nowhere, completely unexpected. I honestly thought that my release date was going to be kicked back until somewhere like 1993. Well, after I got all my time back, the counselor had my time recalculated. It put me out. I think this was around, I want to say April that I put in for all that time back, and they told me that I was eligible to get it back. So April of 1992, I ended up finding out that the time that I got back put me out on 6/4/1992. I still remember one of the COs, the day that they were supposed to recalculate my time. I kept hounding this fool. I kept telling, hey, can you check on that? Can you get that date for me? And I remember he was down on the floor, and I remember him going, 9/2. I was like 6692. Damn, June 6th. So I ended up getting out on June 6, 1992, man, completely unexpected. And, you know, the only last thing that I'll say before I ended up leaving, it was unfortunate. I mentioned this individual, Cesar Castillo, that was there. He's the dude that offered me to write Connie, which ended up being my daughter's mom. He would end up falling in bad standings. I heard he ended up catching a live case. There was another cat that was in there named Bumpster from San Jose. He would end up falling in bad standings. Joey Fernandez, you guys know what happened to him. Dopey and Joel, both of those guys ended up getting deemed. And then you had, who was the last guy I was going to tell you guys about? Well, Edward Lanzarin, wino from Daly City, of course. He ended up getting himself put in bad standings. And there was somebody else. Oh, Bullet from Selma. Bullet from Selma ended up coming into the oil, and I guess he got a glimpse of us going out to the yard and engaging with these individuals, and he was just like, hey, I'm cool. I'm not going to go out to the yard. He decided to just go ahead and max himself out. He had like 2 months. He kicked up his feet, stayed in the cell, never came out, and you know, it was fine with us. We had him excommunicated anyway. He was a norteño, and during the time of battle, he chose not to come out to the yard, and that's a big no-no, man. So I'm sure he expected it, and if not, you know that I'm sure he knew it was game over for him. Anyway, so 1992, I get out. Now, this is going to tie into a situation that I was going to actually talk about in one of my war stories. So really, you guys are going to get the hat trick, because this technically could be a war story right here. Some of you already heard about it. Some of you that have read my book know some of the details. I'm going to tell you again, because it is part of the history, and it is part of this walk for inner demons, you know, from in 92, getting out of Susanville. So let me just say this, man. At that time, I was still a hermano. Obviously, I wasn't an NF member, and even as a hermano, there's certain protocol, rules, regulations, bylaws. There's certain things that we have to follow as hermanos. Etiquette, conduct. We're still bound by certain things, different criteria. One of those things was actually something that was written in the bonds about not fucking around with the fellow hermano's old lady, wife, girlfriend, mistress, whatever you want to call. There was something that was noted in there about that. Now, it's a big no-no, man. You don't fuck around with another brother's old lady. And I know some of you are going to say, B, but come on, bro. B, you did that with Wormy and Ukiah with Vicky. That's not how that happens. So before you guys start saying that, wait till we get there and the circumstances are just a little bit different. This fool straight gorilla macked, and he had bad intentions from the get-go. So, you know, this is the thing, man. So there was a female named Marlene, and she basically stuck with me through my whole bid. I had 7 years on my first bid. I was doing a 7-year bid. She fell off for a minute. In the beginning, she was on the team. She was taking care of me. She was doing everything that she was supposed to do. Then at some point, she fell off the team, went on about her business, and she got tired of being alone. So she ended up, I knew she was seeing other people out there, which was cool. You can't do nothing about that. Just because we're locked up and our lives come to a stop, and our world comes to a stop, you know, it's selfish for us to expect a female to do the same when, hey, time's a commodity, man. You know, we got one shot at living this life. And if you're one of the dummies that fuck off years and years of your life with incarceration, then that's your fault. But you can't expect another human being to put themselves in that same situation when they don't have to be. It's selfish, and I've never done it. I've always told women that I've been with, hey, if that's what you want to do, it's cool. I understand. I would never ask that on you, because I think it's probably one of the most selfish things that a lot of cats do. Just fucking be honest with me. Don't make me look like a fucking fool. If you wanna move on, don't tell me after the fact. And if you ever decide you wanna be with somebody else, just fucking, I'd rather you just be straight up with me. Write me a letter. Let me know, and go on about your business. I'll understand. I just don't want to fucking be lied to or be made to look like a big ass dummy. So Marlene fell off. I knew she was seeing somebody else. I didn't know who at the time. Eventually, one of the other brothers from my neighborhood actually reached out and told me, hey, Duck, the homie Duck is seeing Marlene. I couldn't believe it, man. I was like, no fucking way, man. No way. Duck? Ricky Cedillo Duck? Yeah, Ricky Cedillo Duck. So anyway, I tried to send a couple messages out there to him. Homeboy, you know you're in violation. You're gonna get spanked, bro. You don't want to do that. What you're doing, you know you're wrong. She's been on the team for a minute. It's not, this isn't just some skeezer, man. This is my lady, bro. You know what I mean? She's somebody I got real feelings for. I'm telling you right now, bro. Back the fuck up, homie. Back up and step off, man. Otherwise, when I come home, bro, it's gonna be all about you and all about me, bro. I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you what it's gonna be. And by this time, man, they were living like the Brady Bunch, man. They fucking already had 2-3 kids. They were dropping kids like flies, man. Which I didn't know. I didn't know they had 2 or 3 kids already. My thing was just like, okay, all right, motherfucker, you're not gonna respect me as an hermano, or just as a man, an individual, a homeboy that you know from the hood. Anyway, okay, it's all good, man. But I used to just, I remember walking laps, just plotting when I was out there on the yard by myself, just plotting on this dude. Like, this is what I'm gonna say to him. I can't wait to run into him, man. This is what I'm gonna do, and this is what's gonna happen. And you know what I mean? I was pretty upset. I'd even got it sanctioned where I had a green light to go ahead and take his wind, and who knows what would happen. Anyway, I was so upset with this cat that I told you guys, every time I paroled, I always plugged in with the regiment. That's what I do. That's all I had. That's all I know. So the very first time I got out, I actually didn't plug straight in, because I knew Duck was plugged in and I wanted to get him, and I just didn't want to put myself in that situation. I didn't want to be functioning within the regiment and be up under that leadership and be out there, serving another agenda first. That's just something I needed to take care of. I had to punish Duck for what he did, and that's the whole reason why I didn't tap in with the regiment, is because I wanted to get this dude. Anyway, I got home in '92. I'd end up paroling. Me and the other brother that I keep mentioning, that I won't mention his name, the big Puerto Rican cat, he ended up getting out the same day, or not the same day, within a week after I got out. So we ended up touching base, and we were kicking it for a good minute. Now, the night, a couple times when I first got out, on a few different occasions, I knew that Marlene lived on Andover in Cortland. That's where she was from. So I had went out there and scoped out the pad and did a little bit of reconnaissance on the house, and did my little research. And I'm telling you, I had plotted on this dude for a while, and he's lucky I found out when I was 6 months to the pad, because it actually helped cool my jets down just enough to where I didn't smoke. I just didn't come right out and smoke them. Had it been like a month or two to the house, I would have came out fucking breathing fire, man. Anyway, so like I said, on a couple occasions I went by, I crept by her spot, and I tried to catch them slipping out there, and I just wanted to get a visual on the house. Nothing happened. Nothing ended up happening. But coincidentally, one night, I was with the homie I was just talking about and a couple other homeboys. We were in a truck. I was riding in the bed of the truck with a couple other homeboys. I had a pistol on me. That night, I just so happened to have one. Like I said, man, sometimes I carry it, sometimes I wouldn't. It just depended. It depended on what was happening, too, in the hood. So, we're over there by 30th and Mission. There was a bar over there called the Brick House, and we're in that area. And I told the homie, "Hey, stop by the Brick House, man. It was a cool spot that I remember going to years before, and I just wanted to go in there just for old time's sake, just throw back a couple beers, man, and bring back some of the old memories." Anyway, we went in there, we kicked it, we drank a couple beers. At some point, we got back in the truck. We started smashing up towards Daly City. We get up there by Cortland, and a light bulb went off. Bing! I'm like, fuck. Let me see if I can catch this fool right now slipping at Marlene's pad. So I knock on the window to the homie that's driving, and I tell him, "Hey, bro, hey, turn up here on Andover and go all the way down towards," I told him where the cross street was at. "And when you get there, don't park on Andover. Park on one of the streets that go the cross streets right there." So I already had it in my mind. I was like, maybe I can catch this dude, and I don't want nobody to see the truck parked right there. 5, 6 Mexicans with bald heads, gang members. You know what I mean? So he pulls over, or we're driving up towards her pad, and check out what happens. So okay, so we're smashing towards their house now. We're smashing towards Marlene's house. She lives in Cortland. I knew exactly where the house was on Andover. So I'm in the bed of the truck, and I'm sitting back there with a couple homies. I'm in one of the corners. I'm kicking back. It's a warm ass night. I got a pistol on me, and I'm thinking, man, there's a good chance I catch this fool right now, and I'm gonna pop his punk ass, man. I'm gonna get him. I'm not gonna try to kill him. I was just gonna pop him a couple times in the legs, maybe. I don't know. It just depends on how I was feeling. So anyway, as we're driving, there's a bus that runs up and down Andover. It's one of the main buses that goes through Cortland right there. As we're driving, one of the buses pulls up, and I look on the bus, and who do I see? Duck and Marlene are on the fucking bus. I couldn't believe it, man. I'm like, no way, man. And as soon as I see him, I knock on the window and I tell the homie, get away from this bus, bro. Drive up on Andover, and when you get up there, man, pull over on one of the cross streets. And as soon as I said that, I look back up, and me and this fool lock eyes, bro. He went from, me and Duck, we locked eyes. He went from like, them motherfuckers were playing family too, man. I looked up at them and they were all cuddled up. This fool was playing family. Like, for real, man. For real. I was hoping that they didn't have their kids with them. I wasn't going to do nothing if they had their kids with them. I was going to give them that much respect. But when we locked eyes for that brief second, man, it's like, I seen the look on his, I could actually see the expression on his face change. Oh, man. You guys don't even know how much I thought about hurting this dude, how much I plotted on this, man, how many days I sat there in the cell thinking about, I'm going to get my day. I'm going to hold court out there on the streets, and I'm going to punish this dude for making me, for one, look like a fool, and for two, for disrespecting me. Because you just don't do that, man. You don't do that. Not with the homie that's locked up. Not their old lady. If it's a mistress or something, maybe I could understand, but come on, man. Anyway, we lock eyes and I'm like, this fool's not gonna get off the bus now. But I tell the homie to speed up anyway. I tell him, when you get up there, man, pull over on one of the cross streets. I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna handle my business, and then I'm gonna come back and we'll get up out of there, man. And one of the homies like, what are you gonna do, bro? You gonna pop him right now? And I'm like, yeah, bro, as a matter of fact, I am, homie. You know what I'm saying? This dude got an issue coming, man. And the homie was like, bro, don't pop him now, bro. You gonna fucking be, man. You gonna get yourself in trouble, bro. You know he's gonna tell on you. If you don't tell, you know his bitch gonna tell on you. And I'm like, bro, I hear you, man, but you guys don't even know. You know, I've been dealing with this shit for the last couple of years. This is my justice right now. I'm feeling like I'm gonna get my justice. Anyway, so we pull up, homie pulls over, I jump out, I run down to where her house is. I hide in the bushes, I pull the gun out, I check my gun, I'm fully loaded, and then I just start thinking like, damn, boy, you're fucking here. You're finally about to get your justice now. You know, you're finally about to do it. Like, man, I've been waiting for this day, you know. It is what it is, man. I'm thinking, you know, if I get busted for it, what can I do? You know, this fool should have thought about it before he did what he did. I really felt like he was just saying, fuck B. You know what I mean? Fuck B, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. It. Anyway, so I'm posted up, man. I can see the bus coming from a little ways down the street. I'm looking at the bus, man. I'm starting to get pumped now. My adrenaline's starting to kick in. My fucking knees starting to move by itself. Anyway, the bus comes up. It stops at the bus stop, but it's not Marlene and Duck. I look at on the back of the bus where I seen them, and they're still sitting there. And Duck, he don't see me in the bushes, but this fool is scanning. I see him like he's looking around, like he's looking for me. I can tell he's looking to see if he could spot me somewhere. And I think he might have even seen the truck where the homie parked at, man. It was right on the fucking corner. He should have pulled up the street the other way and parked on the other end. But anyway, it is what it is, man. They didn't get off. They didn't get off. I don't know what happened. I was just like, you know what? It's not my night. I'm going to get my justice another night. I'm going to let it go. But I'm going to tell you guys straight up. If Duck would have got off that bus that night, he was going to get popped. And there's a chance. You never know what could happen. You shoot somebody, you know, bullets don't tell you where they're going to go. You don't get to tell them where they're going to go. They land where the fuck they land. And they tear up what they want to tear up. So it's a good possibility he might have got laid out for good that night, and I might have caught a hot one. Who knows? But I was definitely gonna pump some lead into him. I know that for a fact. You know, so right after that, that night, I go back to the pad. I kick it at the pad. Nothing happens. Go to sleep. Wake up in the morning. And the next morning, I end up meeting up with my stepfather. We went and took care of some shit. Anyway, we're on like 25th and Mission, and we're mobbing on 25th and Mission, going towards 24th. And I look over, and who do I see? No, not Duck. I see Marlene. I see Marlene pushing the stroller, and she don't see me, but I roll my window down as we're driving by, and I'm like, hey. And she turns, she looks, and she's like, hey, come here. So I tell my stepfather, man, let me go see what this fucking bitch wants, man. And he was like, man, go talk to her, Jay. You know, go talk to her. You guys might work something out. You know, I know you're upset, man, but just go talk to her, see what happens, man. So At that time, my mom was living in a hotel. It's kind of downtown. It's not in the Tenderloin. It's kind of downtown. It's on 12th and Market. It's called it's a big hotel. I had to end up staying there myself for a while. But anyway, so I jump out. Uh, I walk. I'm walking with her, and my stepfather. He smashes off, and me and her, we talk, and I hear her lame side of some. She tells me about the lame relationship she's got with this dude and why she felt justified to to leave to leave me the way that she did, and why it was she felt it was okay for her to see this dude or anybody she wanted. And I'm listening to her and I'm like, dirty ass fucking bitch, man. Both of you motherfuckers are good enough for each other. So she claims that he beat her up that night. She got nowhere to stay. She needs some help. You know what I mean? Blah 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 blah. So I take her down to the hotel. I take her down to the hotel. My mom's there, and my mom loves babies. So go upstairs, knock on my mom's door. Mom, Marlene, and look, she's got her baby with her. I need some time with her. Can you babysit? Mom's like, hell yeah. She's like, you might not get this kid back. You know what I mean? She loves kids. So anyway, we go to a room and we do some more talking. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm fresh out. A part of me really wanted to go there. She's a female, and I'm a man with some needs, right? And I was really thinking about it. It's like, even if it was just for the sake of getting this fool some get back, I wanted to hit the shit. I'm not gonna lie, but I was like, nah, man, nah, don't do it, B, don't do it. It's not a good look, and you gotta take the high road on this one, and you gotta win all the way around. Don't give this bitch the time of day. Send her packing, humiliate her, and humiliate that fool, and that's what I did. So we're talking. The baby's with my mom, and at some point I start thinking about everything, and I'm getting more fired up by the minute, and I'm just like, you know what? She strips down to her fucking panties and her bra, and she's laying there on the bed, and I'm sitting there, and she takes her finger and she like starts to trace the back of my elbow, and at one point I pull away, and I'm like, fuck you doing? You know what I mean? And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? You got the audacity to do what you did while I was locked up. You fuck around with this fucking punk ass bitch. You dropped 3 kids. I brought you this whole hotel room not because I wanted to help you or I felt sorry for you, or because I went for that sad fucking story you told me earlier. The only reason why I brought you here is because you're a fucking kid. I didn't want your kid to be out on the street. You know what? I ain't got no feelings for you like that no more. I don't want to be with you. It's not going to happen. Matter of fact, why don't you just turn around and look at the fucking wall? Because you fucking disgust me. Exactly what I told her, man. And she started crying. And she was like, are you fucking serious right now? And I'm like, I'm fucking dead serious. You make me you disgust me, bitch. Quit looking at me, man. Put your fucking pants back on. Nobody wants to you got residue all over you, man. Don't nobody want to fuck with you. So she ended up turning over, and she faced the wall, and she fell asleep. She ended up falling asleep. In the morning, she got up. I ended up falling asleep. She got up. It was kind of funny. It was thick in the air. But she ended up getting up. She got dressed. At some point during the night, we went and got the baby. Her baby needed to be fed and all that shit. So, I took her to the BART. I gave her enough money to catch the BART home, and I sent her on her fucking way. Didn't have nothing else to do with that bitch, man. dirty ass fucking bitch. But you know, the last part of this, man, is so later on that evening I got a phone call from Eddie Roach, who's the hermano that was the OA of San Francisco at that time. Now again, look at how all this kind of ties together. He would end up getting wrapped up in the double homicide that happened with Federico Arevalo, the one that was up there in Susanville with me, and you know, Gibby's the one that basically lured him out there. Well, Eddie Roach and Dreamer, the two homies that were running Frisco when I got out, they were the ones that got indicted for that double murder. So, but before they get arrested, the next day after that, I spent the night with Marlene in the hotel. They call me up and they're like, "Hey, Box, we need to see you, bro. We need you to come down to La Raza Park and plug in, right?" And I'm like, plug in. I'm like, "Yeah, bro. You know, I'll plug in. Give me a couple more days, man. I'm still doing my R&R thing, right?" And they're like, "No. That's all good, man. But that's not what I'm talking about, my boy. What are you talking about?" He's like, "Look, man." He's like, "You know, there seems to be a situation that's taking place between you and Duck, and we just want to make sure we're all on the same page, man. You know, you guys are both hermanos." He's like, he already starts drilling me on the phone. He's like, "B, come on, man." He's like, "Look, I know what you're feeling, you know, but the fucking bride is a snake. She's gonna probably do the same thing to him. Let her have him, bro. Let him have her." You know what I mean? That's what he was telling me. That's what the homie. Let him have her. She's, you know, you can do better than that, man. She's burnt out any fucking way. And yeah, he was kind of right. Her thing was smoke KJ. She's kind of female, smokes KJs, and she smokes KJ and she'll get butt ass naked. Nothing about that turns me on. Anyway, so long story short, I make arrangements to go see these two brothers down at La Raza Park the next day. La Raza Park's the park I told you guys where we went down there and stomped out that one homie. That used to be like a main spot where my hood used to kick it. So, you know, 92, man, a lot of shit was going on. I didn't know what their intentions were. I didn't know if they were trying to lure me down there to, to smoke me. I didn't know what they were thinking. But what happened was I called up Tiny, Ray Machado's brother. Ray Machado that I talked about that can't fight. The one that I got into with those Simones over when I got my teeth knocked out. Well, I call his brother Tiny and I tell him, "Hey, homie, I need a pistol, bro. I need a pistol and I need somebody to get my back." And I kind of run it down to him. I got to go down to La Raza Park. I got to meet the two homies and this is what it's about and boop, boop, boop and pop, pop, pop. So he's like, "Hey, I got you, my boy." He's like, I got heat right here. You know, he's like, "We could bring like a 9 cool." And I'm like, "Hell yeah. 9's cool. That's all I need." So, anyway, we go down there. Tiny picks me up. He straps up. When he picks me up, first thing he does when I get in the car is he hands me a pistol. It's wrapped up in a baño, and he's like, "Hey, go ahead, homie." He's like, "It's fully loaded. You can keep the rounds." He's like, he's like, "I just tested it last week, so it's good to go, man." You know what I mean? It's good to go. You know, I kind of felt bad, man, that I was going down to see, and I looked up to Eddie Roach and his brother Louis Roach. I looked up to these dudes, man. These dudes were like saints in my neighborhood. I always looked up to them. They were like my big homies. I felt bad. I felt like it was some level of betrayal to take a pistol down there to go meet these cats, man. But, you know, one mental mistake like that in this lifestyle, and dealing with the type of shit that happens in this lifestyle, can be a fatal mistake. It could literally be the difference between life and death, or you living to see another day. So I wasn't gonna take a chance. The whole time I met with these guys, so we pull up in Let Us Park. I got a hoodie. I got the pistol in my pocket. I walk up, shake hands with them. The whole time I'm talking to him, I got the gun pointed at him. He don't even know. I don't know if they got guns. I don't know what they had, but I know I'm ready, man. If that's how this is gonna turn out. But it didn't. It didn't. They didn't even take it there, man. It was like, it was more of the same. What I told you guys when I got there, it was like, man, B, let her go. She, I know her personally too. She's a fucking skank. She's gonna do the same thing she done to you as she did to him. So I speak my piece. I tell him, you know what, man, homeboy knows better. He's hermano. He knows the fucking bylaws. He knows his bonds. He's in violation, man. And I honestly feel like he should be punished. This isn't a fucking unintentional act. He knew she was with me, man, and yet he still chose to do what he did. That's some foul shit, homie, and you know it, bro. You fucking know it is, man. And that's the whole reason why I didn't plug in, bro, is because I wanted to get this dude, man. You know what I mean? And, it's all good. I respect it, man. I respect it. But I still, for the sake of at least just speaking my piece, I still think he should be punished for that. And I'm not talking about 122s or a fucking 5,000 word essay. That fool needs to be touched, bro. But I'm going to let it go, Eddie. I'm going to let it go, man. I'm going to respect you as the OA, and I've always respected you as one of the homies from the hood. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's a dead issue. But tell that motherfucker to stay away from me, bro. Tell him to just stay away from me. Because, part of me still feels like he's getting away, man. And he's getting away with murder, man. And he shouldn't be allowed to. So, nothing happened, man. I ended up letting it go. He ended up ODing a couple months later. He passed away. Rest in peace. Even though I had issues with him, man, death is forever. So I don't wish it upon nobody. Anyway, man, that's the hat trick. You guys got 3 tonight, man. Two war stories and an inner demon. I'm trying to pump out as much as I can to you guys. Tomorrow you're gonna get, what's today? Wednesday? What's today, man? Let me see. Today's Thursday. You're going to get Funky Friday tomorrow. I'm going to hit you with 3 fucking bangers, man. 3 bangers. You guys want just 3 straight shootings? Or you guys want to drive by in the shooting or stabbing in the shooting? What do you guys want? Stomp out, a molly whopping? What do you want, man? I'm going to deliver. We'll call it Funky Ass Friday. Nah, but on the real, man. You guys got 3 tonight. I hope you guys are enjoying all the content. I'm trying to put out as much as I can for you guys, man. I appreciate all the support. Again, man, we're putting a lot of work into the channel, man. And all the new subs, the new subscribers, the new faces, the new names that are coming to the channel. I appreciate all of you guys, man. With that said, you guys be safe, and I'm out.